Well, from Roosevelt Road to the Grand Avenue curve, there's a collision there blocking a center lane. Eden's inbound 20 minutes, Lake Cook Junction outbound 24. Inbound Kennedy, delays started Foster. A crash at Kimball is now gone. We're looking at about 31 minutes, so here to downtown. No savings in the Express. Outbound 30 minutes downtown to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower, 42 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 35. Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Crash reported right at the Burn Circle. I-57, 19 minutes, siding to the Merge, Bishop 428. That's traffic. I'm Jim Calamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Clouds and sun today, a high of 42, currently 28. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Mike Pompeo on Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace over the weekend.
He made the rounds. He was on every single Sunday morning program.
He explained the context of the decision and ultimately the decision that was made.
As for the activity today with respect to Iraq, we've been in their country. We've been supporting Iraqi sovereignty. We've been continuing to take down the terrorist threat against the Iraqi people. The prime minister is the resigned prime minister. He's the acting prime minister. He's under enormous threats from the very Iranian leadership that it is that we are pushing back against. We are confident that the Iraqi people want the United States to continue to be there to fight the counter-terror campaign, and we'll continue to do all the things we need to do to keep America safe.
That's in, of course, response to the Iraqi parliament voting to call for troop withdrawal, American troop withdrawal.
Yeah.
Of course, there are...
That's not going to happen.
It's a parliament that's beholden to Iran. That's part of the problem. The situation the situation in Iraq has deteriorated since Obama's abrupt withdrawal in 2011. Such void it left that Iran has, to some extent, filled it. And, of course, this has been the 2 months, 3 months of peppering, and then a little bit more when an American contractor was killed with respect to Iran and taking out a drone and conflicts in the Strait of Hormuz, and then the attacks on the embassy and, of course, the death of that U.S. contractor and injuring 4 soldiers. He was asked about the endless wars, the promise Trump made to get us out of endless wars, and isn't this putting us back into the mode of endless warring in the Middle East? Pompeo responded.
Endless wars are the direct result of weakness, and President Trump will never let that happen. We're going to get it right. We're going to get the force posture right. We're going to get our facilities as hardened as we can possibly get them to defend against what Iran may potentially do. But make no mistake, America's mission is to have our footprint in the Middle East reduced while still keeping America safe from rogue regimes like the Islamic Republic of Iran and from terrorist activity broadly throughout the region.
So is it fair to say that while the big strategy is to pull the U.S. out of endless wars, at least in the short term, there could be more of a commitment?
The Obama administration created enormous risk to the American people in Iran. This administration is working to reduce that risk.
And that was Trump's position as he explained it on Friday.
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
And he said that there were viable threats.
Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel, but we caught him in the act and terminated him.
Yeah, I mean, and ABC News was reporting, I don't know why, other media outlets aren't catching on to this, that one of the attacks was blowing up the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, Lebanon.
For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by John Nolte. He is editor-at-large at Brietbart, Breitbart.com. John, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, pleasure. So, this is one of those issues that cuts across the political spectrum a bit. Obviously, it's hysterics on the left, political assassination, World War III, all that stuff. But even on the center right, you have libertarians and others who have cheered Trump's troop withdrawal from Syria, his call for troop drawdown in Afghanistan, who are concerned about deepening the engagement in the Middle East. Think, the Rand Paul caucus, if you will. How do you assess the decision making and the communication of the basis for the decision by the administration?
Trump is in a very tough position, and I think that right now he's maintaining the situation in the way that the American people in general at large want the situation maintained. We can't not retaliate when Iran kills an American contractor or when Iran attacks flagrantly one of our embassies. We have to respond. At the same time, we do not want to see another Iraq, and we certainly don't want to see another Libya. We don't want thousands of boots on the ground and nation building. So I think Trump is doing what he has to do, which is he's retaliating in a way. He's retaliating from the air. And he's letting Iran know that if you do this, there's going to be consequences, but you're not going to pull us into another stupid ground war that we wouldn't be able to win. So he's doing the best he can. It's a tough situation. It's a risky situation, but Iran is the one that's causing it. They're the ones doing these things. And given a bad situation, I'm very happy so far with the way that Trump is handling it, and I'm the last one who wants to see us get into a war with Iran.
Yeah, but was this the right and best way to take him out?
I think it was. I mean, it was legal. That's important, that it's legal. He was in a war zone. They've called for war against us. They hit someone very high up, and I think there are two reasons this worked, in my opinion, or hopefully that it's going to work or that it was a good idea. Number one, Trump is totally unpredictable, and the media likes to declare him erratic and say he doesn't have a plan. But the fact that he's unpredictable scares the hell out of our enemies.
Okay.
The second thing is that right now, people in Iran know that they could be next. And I think that's another thing that's the best way to get them to de-escalate, because it's in their own personal best interest to de-escalate. Because if they don't, they could be the next one hit by Trump, because he showed a willingness to do that. So I don't know what else. I mean, maybe there are better ideas, better things he could have done, but I think this was pretty smart for those two reasons.
So you're not concerned that he had 2 scoops of ice cream after he ordered the strike, which was apparently a big story for the D.C. press corps, that he went and had dinner and he had 2 scoops of ice cream. I guess if you're talking about what the president had for dinner after he ordered the strike, then you don't have much to say on the substance of the matter.
Yeah, and that was a CNN story. And, that's just another example of how the media continues to discredit themselves. And those stories used to make me angry, and now I like it. It's like when Hollywood spouts off. That's good for our side.
Yes.
It's good. If CNN wants to write stories, good. Please continue to do so, because all you're doing is discrediting yourself, and you're just proving that you're not a news organization. You just want to troll the president. And I love those stories. They're great for Brietbart because we publish them. They get 1 million hits. It's just that CNN has done more to help Trump and more to help our business model than any other organization out there.
Now, in other important geopolitical news, Joe Biden made a major announcement saying he supports 100%, which is the most you can support something, supports 100% a nationwide ban on plastic bags.
Yeah, obviously he's worried about his left flank, and this stuff is going to kill him in the general election. People like plastic bags. This may sound like hyperbole, but it's not. The decision for me to leave California was when they started putting a tax on plastic bags. And it wasn't because I didn't want to pay 5 cents a plastic bag. It was because I don't want to live in a state that is this nanny-driven, that is this controlling, and just unreasonable and stupid. And it just felt constricted. I could feel my freedoms being constricted. And Joe Biden, he's very worried about Iowa. He's very worried about New Hampshire. There's a 3-way tie in those states now, and they're going to matter a lot. and he's guarding his left flank with a lot of these sort of dumb statements, not sort of dumb, very dumb statements. And Trump, if he wins the nomination, Trump's going to pulverize him.
I know another state, by the way, that fits your description of California.
Chicago, you would be strangled by the taxes we have here.
And plastic bag bans
plastic
in
bag
nanny
bans,
state. Yes, right.
Reusable bags.
Yeah, and Chicago's my favorite city in the world. I love Chicago, but I would never live there. Never, ever live there.
Right. That's our new slogan. It's a nice place to visit. That's that's the most we can offer. So just to giving us a handle on the field, I just had a conversation. We just had a conversation with Roger Kimball about this, about Michael Bloomberg, spending his way into something approximating contention, and wondering if, as the field that has existed for the last several months continues to be measured and found wanting, if there really is an opportunity for Bloomberg to spend his way to the nomination. What's your thought?
I don't think Bloomberg is so much spending his way to the nomination. The money helps, but it's more along the lines of nobody's happy with the field. It reminds me of the Republican field in 2012, where we kept choosing different people, the Herman Cain era that lasted about 2 weeks. And then we liked the other guy, and then we liked the other guy, and then we liked the other guy. And that's what's happening in the Democratic Party right now. They love Kamala Harris for a while, then they loved Elizabeth Warren, and Joe Biden's just kind of hanging in there like Mitt Romney did. And so I think that people are so unhappy that they can't find someone that a guy like Bloomberg, who's got enough money, is going to have a chance. I mean, Tom Steyer spent a ton of money, too. He hasn't really gotten anywhere. No. But Bloomberg did, because he's got some governing experience. He's got some name recognition. But if the Democrats want to nominate him and lose the Midwest because Bloomberg is an anti-gun fanatic, I'm all for that.
Well, does he have any traction in South Carolina? Because he's going to sit out the Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire primary.
And debates.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see him winning the nomination, because you're right, he's not that involved, really. He's just sort of spending money. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he's polling so well, that he's tied with Elizabeth Warren nationally, that just tells me how dissatisfied Democrats are with the field. I think that's the overall message there.
I want you to listen to something.
I still think Biden's going to win. I still think Biden's going to win the nomination.
I want you to listen to something that Trey Gowdy said the other day on Fox about the approach the White House and the Senate, Senator McConnell, should be taking with impeachment. Get your reaction.
If the vote were today, the president would win. So my advice to him is go with the defense team you got now, Cipollone, Radcliffe, Pam Bondi, Jay Sekulow, and then get to the vote as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. Don't inject any surprises or witnesses that you don't know what they're going to say. It's just not good in a trial for there to be a lot of surprises.
Yeah, that's pretty good advice, generally speaking. But, I mean, is it time or getting near time for McConnell to say we're going to vote our shares?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a long past time. And from the sounds of it, from what I'm hearing from various members of the Senate, Lindsey Graham, McConnell, and others, Pelosi's basically got a week to get her act together. And if she doesn't send the impeachment over to the Senate, if she doesn't stop with this idea of blackmailing them into holding the trial she wants, something's going to give, because the Senate's just not going to allow this to hold over the president, especially with everything that's going on in Iran. So, yeah, they need to move as quickly as possible. The whole thing's a farce. Everybody knows it. And the last poll I showed, almost 60% of the American people believe that Pelosi needs to stop playing these games and send the impeachment articles over. So time is not on the side of the Democrats, but they're in such a bad position now that all they can do is make bad decisions.
John Nolte, editor-at-large at Brietbart, Breitbart.com. John, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Bands Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp. president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
The American economy remains strong, and both business owners and employees are enjoying the benefits. Here at AM 560, we want to celebrate the businesses that are thriving. Are you a business owner who is part of this great American success story? If so, we want to hear from you. Once again, we're taking the show on the road. We'll be broadcasting from Chicagoland businesses enjoying success as they serve their customers and clients through the hard work of their employees. We want to hear your story, share your success